A heroic last act, memorizing lines at a glance, and taking on a diva. Here are the things we learned about Naya Rivera after the actress's tragic death. Following the tragic discovery of Naya Rivera's body in California's Lake Piru, authorities revealed that the Glee star had been hugely courageous in her final moments. In fact, if it wasn't for the actor's bravery, her 4-year-old son would also have lost his life. At a press conference, Bill Ayub, the Ventura County Sheriff, disclosed what was believed to have happened during that fateful day. While getting into difficulties in the water while swimming together, Rivera managed to lift her only child Josie onto the pontoon boat she'd rented that afternoon, but according to the youngster, she was unable to pull herself in.
He told investigators that he looked back and saw her disappear under the surface of the water.
Ayub went on to theorize exactly how the pair got into such trouble, saying that currents that usually only appear in the afternoon on the lake caused the boat to drift away from them while they were swimming, and that the young mother used all her strength to save her son. A year after the drowning of Naya Rivera, her dad George Rivera revealed that she'd FaceTimed him just moments before the tragedy occurred. The grieving father told People that he'd actually warned the Glee star not to go out swimming in Lake Piru after learning of her intentions, explaining, "I could see that the wind was blowing and my stomach was just cringing. I kept telling her, 'Don't get out of the boat, don't get out of the boat.' I had this bad feeling that was just killing me." Unfortunately, their conversation cut out around the 3-minute mark, and Naya decided not to take the advice. A heartbroken George added that he's still trying to come to terms with what had happened, saying, "It's still pretty much a big blur of pain almost a year later. Things are slowly coming a little more into focus, but I don't know if I'll ever find closure from this. I miss her every day." In 2020, Naya Rivera's ex-husband Ryan Dorsey filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Ventura County on behalf of their son Josie following the tragic drowning of the Glee actor in Lake Piru. The actor alleged that its Parks and Recreation Department had been negligent in its lack of warning to visitors about the dangers of its waters. Furthermore, the suit also accused the county of causing Josie emotional distress and failing to provide the necessary safety equipment. The attorney representing the Rivera family later revealed that both parties had agreed to a global settlement, saying in a statement, "Through this settlement, Josie will receive just compensation for having to endure the drowning of his beloved mother at Lake Piru. Though the tragic loss of Josie's mother can never truly be overcome, we are very pleased that the monetary settlement will significantly assist Josie with his life beyond this tragedy." Naya Rivera had always been frank about her own battles with eating disorders, revealing in her memoir, Sorry Not Sorry, that she'd suffered from anorexia as a teen. In 2022, Heather Morris revealed that she was once directly challenged by her Glee co-star over worries that she was developing an eating disorder too. The actor, who played ditzy cheerleader Brittany S. Pierce, told the Glee-themed podcast, And That's What You Really Missed, that the confrontation occurred as a result of her refusing to eat food in front of her castmates, saying, "I had developed an eating disorder. I stopped getting my period. I was so in my head about food and what it was doing for me. She was approaching me about my eating disorder because I know she herself had eating disorders. So she, of course, was the first to speak up about it." Morris told Rivera that she didn't have a problem and the subject never came up again, but she remains grateful for having a friend looking out for her, saying, "That's who she was. She was just always ready to talk about it. We're all like that now. It just takes that time and place in your life where you realize life's too short."
She was so powerful and so strong and such an inspiration to everybody who knew her and everybody who didn't know her personally.
If you need help with an eating disorder or know someone who is, help is available. Visit the National Eating Disorders Association website or contact NEDA's live helpline at 1-800-931-2237. You can also receive 24/7 crisis support via text. Send NEDA to 741-741. Naya Rivera might not have been the most prepared cast member of Ryan Murphy's musical drama Glee when it came to script reading. But according to co-stars Jenna Oshkowitz and Kevin McHale, she still put the rest of the New Directions gang to shame when it came to script reciting. While reminiscing about Rivera on And That's What You Missed, the actors admitted that they'd often be panicking over just 2 lines that they'd rehearsed countless times before. Rivera, however, would just rock up to the set, take a quick look at her dialogue, and reel it off word for word, with Oshkowitz remarking, "It was the wildest thing to actually witness." McHale joked that he had mixed feelings about Rivera's photographic memory, saying, "It was really infuriating and also incredible to watch. It was a gift that we got to be around every single day." The same year that he split from Naya Rivera, Big Sean released a track that many interpreted as an unflattering message to the Glee star. But following the actor's tragic death, her former lover was keen to point out that the song I Don't F With You wasn't the diss that everybody believed it to be. Big Sean told Vulture that the track actually had Rivera's seal of approval, saying, "I truly made the song and played it for her. She knew about it and she liked it. We had a breakup that was very public, and we were young and we forgave each other and moved on from that." Although the hitmaker insists that the song's message wasn't anti-Rivera, he still expresses regret at having recorded it, saying, "If I would have known something this tragic would have happened, I would have never made the song." Big Sean also revealed that 5 years on, he's still struggling to process Rivera's death. As he wrote on Instagram, "I appreciate and cherish everything that ever happened between us for making me wiser and a better person." As well as wowing her Glee castmates with her ability to recite pages of dialogue at a moment's notice, Naya Rivera was also the star everyone called upon when they needed some cheering up. Matthew Morrison was just one of many who spoke fondly of his late co-star's zest for life in the wake of her tragic death, saying in an interview with E.T., "Naya was a huge bright light. She was always the one who is just so witty and just, always joking. On that show, it was difficult. We pulled long hours, 16 to 18-hour days, and we needed that team morale, and she was always there to give us a good laugh." Morrison, who worked alongside Rivera for 6 seasons of the show, admitted he was still trying to come to terms with the fact he'd no longer hear her laughing again, reflecting, "It's crazy saying was, but she was a special person, and my heart just goes out to that family who was grieving." As 2 of William McKinley High's most popular cheerleaders, Naya Rivera and Deanna Agron's characters were initially kept apart from the geekier characters in Glee. As a result, they forged a friendship that remained strong until the former's tragic death in 2020. During an appearance on the podcast Allison Interviews, Agron recalled how she and Rivera quickly became BFFs, saying, "We had our very brief moments in the pilot, and everybody else was very involved in the singing, dancing, and all the rehearsals. So she was my point person, and we kind of instilled each other with confidence in those moments." Agron went on to tell host Allison Kugel how in awe she was of her fellow pom-pom shaker, saying, "She was just very unique and special in the way she just carried herself with such confidence and certainty. If she believed in something or in you as a person, she would always uplift those ideas. She was very, very strong in a way that I think I have adapted to moments in my own life that have been quite difficult." Josie Rivera went through an unspeakable tragedy at the age of only 4, but judging by the various updates posted by his father Ryan Dorsey in the years since, it appears as though the youngster is still thriving. In a heartfelt Instagram tribute uploaded a year after Naya's death, Ryan wrote, "He's such a resilient, strong kid. He misses you but knows he'll see you again. And the invisible string is something that's helped us out during this ever-evolving transition of your time with us on Earth that was unfairly and for reasons we'll never understand cut short." The actor has also kept his followers updated on several other milestones in Josie's life, including his kindergarten graduation and 7th birthday, something the boy celebrated by throwing the first pitch at a baseball game. Lea Michele suffered a major backlash in 2020 when several Glee cast members called her out for acting like a diva on set. The actor was accused of a number of microaggressions by the likes of Samantha Marie Ware and Dabier Snell. But while speaking on the podcast Everything Iconic with Danny Pellegrino, Heather Morris revealed that Naya Rivera was the only person who'd spoken out against Michele for her behavior at the time.
"Because I just try to be really, really honest with people when I think that they suck."
Morris confirmed that the stories circulating about Michele were indeed true, and that she wished she had backed Rivera up, saying, "It was something that was very hush-hush on set. We absolutely could have stepped up and gone to the Fox execs and said how we felt about the situation, and nobody really did. And so now we are living in a culture where it's acceptable to go do things like that, whereas I think many people were very scared." You might not know that long before dating rapper Big Sean and marrying fellow actor Ryan Dorsey, Naya Rivera went out with another famous face. Yes, the Glee star had a childhood romance with smart guy lead Taj Mowry after first meeting him as a young kid on an advertising campaign. Following Rivera's death, Mowry took to Instagram to share his grief about the individual he shared his first kiss with, writing, "No woman has ever measured up what you gave me or how you made me feel. I've never liked to admit it, but I have never stopped loving you. A part of me always wished for the day where God would bring us back together to be what we dreamt we could have been." Mowry also revealed to E! News that their on and off relationship permanently changed to off just before Rivera got her star-making role as cheerleader Santino Lopez, saying, "I think our last sort of breakup was in my early 20s. It was one of those moments where you keep seeing your ex on billboards and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't escape. Unlike other stars on Glee, Naya Rivera wasn't the kind of actor who made life on set miserable for others.
It was never a moment where I was not belly laughing being around that woman. So clever, so funny.
In one of the most glowing Instagram tributes paid to Rivera in the wake of her tragic death, Amber Riley revealed how there is a refreshing lack of ego around the Californian, writing, "There was never competition or shade or intimidation with us, just pure adoration and mutual respect. You deserved better. You were so much more than just this show. Your talent outshined us all so many times." Riley also spoke about how Rivera was as intelligent as she was gifted, and concluded her eulogy with the following words, "I've cried until my tear ducts have dried out. Now it's time to celebrate the fact that us mere humans got to experience walking through life with an Earth angel. Rest well. I pray you found the peace we are all searching for."